Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the Book Wars Pod. I'm Kristen and I'm here with Miranda and Chris. And today we're going to talk about chapters 9 through 15 of Tarkin by James Luceno. In episode 114, we talked about the beginning through chapter 8. So go listen to that before you listen to this.
What if episode 114 was like chapter 16 through the end?
Yeah,
we just went backwards.
That's good. That's
just like make it some like weird performance art. Like
it all moves backwards. Sorry for any audio weirdness. My external sound card that I need to actually use the mixer that you guys bought us is dead or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, I'm going to go get one of those, but I am using a condenser mic, which is not what I usually use, so please excuse me. Anyway, Dad, are you drinking?
I am drinking one of the few beers that we had left in the fridge.
Yay.
Which is from Boulder Beer Company, and it is the Buffalo Gold Golden Ale. It's very good. It's just very light.
Yum. I love a golden ale.
They're tasty.
That sounds delightful. Burb, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a water in my hydro flask, which I'm also using a condenser mic, so if there are any bangs that don't get edited out, it's probably that. I had some whiskey earlier, but it just made me more tired.
Whiskey.
So
to be fair, you probably had whiskey back when we were supposed to record, and then I was like an hour late.
Oh, I mean, I had like some whiskey on a 4:00 call today.
Oh,
with,
okay.
Like my
Solid.
team at work, and then I poured some more, and then like 3 hours later, I was like, I'm not gonna finish this.
Oh, what kind of whiskey was it?
Oh, it's a good whiskey. It's not a knock on the whiskey. It's the Burnside, just like the regular straight whiskey blend.
Yum.
Which is very tasty, and it's smooth and a little sweet, but like, a really easy drinking whiskey, very tasty. But I had a long day at work and was like,
yay.
I cannot continue to pretend like I'm drinking this whiskey.
Seems fair.
Yes. Nice. I am drinking from Old Town Brewing. I am drinking a Glowtorch Hazy IPA, which is one I think you would like, Chris, actually. It's 5.9%. The hops are Columbus, Eldorado, Nugget, and Azaka. 2-row pale malt, white wheat, and carafoam malt. The tasting notes are abundantly hopped, holding a burst of flavor and aroma. This hazy IPA checks the boxes. Notes of juicy peach, ripe apricot, and pineapple, supported by a medium body, sweet character, and a fluffy, soft finish. So, despite it saying that it's hopped, Chris, I think that you would like it because it's fruity.
We love a fruity
Love a
IPA
fluffy
in
and
this
soft
family.
beer.
I know. And another thing, I forgot to put Coors Lights into the fridge, so they're just sitting downstairs in the basement in their home. But I wanted to get a second beer in case I wanted it. And
yeah, I will say this is one of the few beers we have in the fridge. We also have like an entire box of Michelob just like sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Blessings. I
Of
know.
course.
That's how it be in quarantine.
Because if anything, Kate and Chris are noted for their love of beer, and especially Michelob.
Yes, the official. Yeah, honestly, no, we didn't even buy it. We bought it for like back 24 years ago in February when we went up to a winter cabin and brought a bunch
Ah.
of beer with us, and that's what was left over.
Oh,
But there
yeah.
was so much left over that's what didn't fit in the fridge, and then we just kind of never bothered putting it in the fridge.
Was it just regular Michelob?
Is it like
I-
Michelob Ultra?
I think it was
Who
Michelob
drinks-
Ultra.
Oh.
I don't look
Hey,
at me.
it's
I
fine.
did not buy
it's fine. No, sorry. I didn't mean to make. All beer is good beer if you like it. Everyone.
I mean,
don't,
also
don't hate me for
Off
making that
pod,
noise.
like tell us who this is because we know.
I know.
those
I
people.
want to
You
know
went to the
who
cabin.
fucking
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I will fight
Michelob
someone.
Ultra.
I mean, they don't listen. I'm pretty sure Austin bought it as like a good like compromise beer.
Austin.
And like
What's
I
a
know I was very surprised because like
compromise
Austin's like
beer?
Austin
He's a
is a very
smart
big
dude.
beer drinker.
Just get PBR. What the fuck is wrong with people?
It was a weird moment
Okay.
to be sure. It was a weird moment.
Okay, that's fair.
Like especially since we also got a box of Tecate. Like why didn't we buy 2 boxes of Tecate?
Yeah,
Well,
that is the
great
correct
cheap beer.
cheap
So
beer.
tasty.
And you could put a lime in it. You could put a lemon in it. You can mix it with like lots of different weird stuff to make beer cocktails. Anyway, this is just a testament to me drinking way too much beer all the time. But anyway, I have a Breakside sitting next to me as well. I think it's a Stay West. Anyway, it's in a bottle. And I sat down and I go, oh, I need to make sure I go get a bottle opener. And then I look to my right in my office and there are already 2 bottle openers sitting there. And I was like, I don't need to get a bottle opener. I have these. I did not know they were here. I don't know why they're here, but they're just keychain bottle openers. And I have 2 of them for
Thanks,
some reason.
Past Kristen.
Thanks, Past Chris. And I don't think I've used them to open beer, so I don't know why they're here. I think one of them, let's see, Harpoon Brewery. Oh, sorry, I keep touching the thing. Harpoon and Hub, I think. I think it's Harpoon and Hub are the 2 that are here. But shout out to Harpoon. Love Harpoon. They're on the East Coast. Anyway, cool. Yeah, the Stay West is good. I don't know if I'm gonna open it or not. I fucking love this glow torch. Poor Quinn. I just was like, have you had any of the glow torches? And he was like, no. And I was like, can I have the last one anyway? Because I still want it. And he was like, sure. So it's fine. We'll get more.
Ooh,
love it.
while we're on beer, have you had the Breakside? It's like a 10th anniversary collaboration. I don't remember the name. I
Is
know
it an
what.
IPA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it. We have a few in the fridge right now. There's just a couple of I asked that because there's a couple 10th anniversary collaboration beers that they did.
Yeah, it's the IPA.
Fuck, what is it called now? It's
something
gonna drive me crazy.
Cosmic. It was like there was like some pink on the bottle, maybe. I don't
This
know.
is not ringing a bell.
maybe I could
maybe
go
there's
get.
a different 10th anniversary IPA.
I'd get up to like look at the bottle, but
Please don't.
I'll mute myself first. It'll be fine.
Yeah, let's see. No, I haven't checked it in. It's fine. This has been Beer Pod. I love how she just got up. Chris, have you been watching Korean baseball? The rain delay of Korean
my
baseball.
God. I want to. I just have not had a chance. So it was on last night and then replayed today, right?
I don't. Did it actually happen last night, or was it just like a very, very late rain delay that
Did
like
it get
happened
delayed?
in the middle
I
of
don't
our?
know.
Yeah, it got. Yeah, everybody was fucking dying because it was supposed to start last night, and then there was a rain delay, and they were like, "LOL, baseball, of
No,
course."
I need to.
I know. I need to get really
the
get into
schedule.
Korean baseball.
I mean, Korean baseball is like, I've not watched an actual game because they don't show them here, but like I've watched plenty of highlights, and like it's so much more interesting than American baseball because
There's
the
so
bat
much
flips
bat
are
flipping.
amazing.
Yeah, I've seen exactly one highlight of Korean baseball, and I think I saw it like today, and it was just a bat flip. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's somebody wrote like an article about all of the different bat flips, and I saw one on Twitter that was like, "This is a great bat flip because this is actually a foul ball."
Yeah, no, I like. Yeah,
fucking amazing.
I've seen like top 10 compilations where like number 10 would like get somebody shot in American baseball.
I love it so much. I love the bat flips. It's so fucking good.
They're the best.
It's so good.
Bat flip rage is honestly the best thing about when Puig was on the Dodgers. Quick aside is how like he used to make Madison Bumgarner like shit himself with rage because he would like take a walk and flip his bat, and it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so good.
Quick aside pod. That was actually a quick aside. Usually you're like, this is a quick aside.
I know,
and then
usually
like
it's a whole
78
story.
minutes.
and then it's just, by the way, did you know that Yoda ruined the Jedi Order?
Yeah.
So
It's
I went,
somehow the hot dog joke again every time.
Every time it's the hot dog joke. Well, like, and we'll get, not to get too into Star Wars before we get into Star Wars, but like probably building the Jedi Temple on top of like a Sith situation was maybe not the best idea.
seems like a good idea.
I don't know. They were like,
Yeah,
we
like,
we
what-
burned sage. We cleansed it. It's fine. I'm like, maybe this had something to do
Like-
with the fucking fall of the Jedi Order, you dumb idiots.
Like, this is some Chernobyl bullshit. Like, you can't just pour concrete over it.
Yeah.
It's the dark side.
Yes, correct.
There's like an entire show about that on Netflix right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
It's actually on HBO.
Oh no, that's like kind of low key a main plot point, and the show I've been trying to get you guys to watch on
Oh,
Netflix.
dark.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Chernobyl.
Oh no. I know that's on HBO.
That one's actually about Chernobyl. It's not
Yes.
like about Chernobyl.
That one is about Chernobyl. This one is fake. Probably.
Miranda, you didn't tell us what the beer was called. When
I
you
know.
Came
I
back.
came back and we were talking about bat flips, and then
Yeah.
I had to drag Yoda. So fun fact: nothing about Cosmic. There is no pink on this bottle.
That's what I thought.
It's the Dream Pop
Dream
India
Pop.
Pale Ale.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, but that is a name that, like, if all I remembered was the name, I would assume that had pink on the bottle.
Yeah, I thought it was a safe assumption.
You would not like that beer, Chris.
No, even I was like a little not into it as I maybe expected to be.
Yeah. They just put not to drag Breakside, love Breakside. They just put out another beer that I didn't really love that much. It's like the Portland IPA. That it was just like their regular IPA, and then they were like, let's dry hop it also, and I was like, why? You
I
don't
don't know, I
need
got-
to do that.
I live close to the Breakside here in Northeast, so I just like went over last week and like got this, and also a 6-pack of the Pilsner because
Well,
their
yeah,
Pilsner
the
is
fucking
like my fucking favorite Pilsner.
yeah. Wait, which Pilsner is it? Is it just the regular Pilsner, or is it the Preforain or whatever the fuck it's called?
Just the regular.
Yeah. Yeah, I live a mile from there. Me and Miranda live close to each other. That is where I go on runs with the dog and go on walks with the dog, is up to that brewery, because it's a bike like throughway the whole way, so I can run in the middle of the street so he doesn't try to pee all over everything and then kill me by
Oh, that's
tripping me. It is fucking great. Anyway, this has been We Dabbled in Star Wars. Thanks for coming.
We
No,
mentioned Star Wars a couple
We'll,
times.
we'll talk
did.
about
Yoda
the book
came
if
up.
we feel.
We
if
even
feel
touched
like
on
it.
something from the book.
From the book, I know,
So-
and I brought it up. What is going on?
A Christmas
Um,
Miracle.
Did you
It's a
guys
weird
know that
time.
I can read? Sometimes. Cool. Chris wrote some great questions on this outline, such as how
Did
do
I?
you fight an empire?
Oh, that's like the one question I wrote. I was like, did I write great questions? I didn't remember.
I'm
mean-
actually kind of proud. I did a lot of work on this outline, and I'm
No,
proud of it for
this
once
is
in a row.
mostly Burb, honestly.
I wrote
Um,
some points that aren't points, as usual.
Is your point Vader mad because he lost his bowl?
Yes. And LMAO. They were both my points.
Sure. I'll ask the question and then we can go into all the actual
Sorry,
work
that's
that Miranda put
still
into it.
making me laugh. I wrote that and started laughing. I'm fucking. It's like, tell me I'm wrong though. I'm not.
Oh no, you're very right.
That's what is happening.
Okay. Also, let's not hype up my shit too much because it's like, let me counter your question with this other philosophical question.
A very job interview of you, Miranda.
Yes.
I do what I can.
But yeah, so we don't honestly there's kind of a lot of plot and not a lot to wonder about in this section, but one thing we are still kind of trying to figure out is Teller and their crew of, like, 5 or 6 or however many rebels that they have that stole Tarkin's ship. And
Which, like, that ship is fucking dope.
yeah, right?
Yes.
And, like, I know, I'm like, wait, I actually remember this from the Clone Wars cartoon. I remember the stealth ship. It was a whole fucking thing. So it was cool that Tarkin was like, I like that. Please give me one.
Yeah, right? For real.
Like,
Uh,
I would have been like, Same. I want that one. That one goes invisible.
I do like how Tarkin is just like super rich, like old money on his planet, even though he's backwater in the rest of the galaxy. But he's like, give me the deadliest ship you possibly can.
Listen, he's a little cray. We know
Yeah.
that he's like done the go live in the wilderness and kill all the things with your uncles
Yeah, like
side quest.
he's old money rich, but like that meets like Hatchet.
Yeah, he's like very like most dangerous game rich. You know what I
That-
mean?
Yeah. Except I feel like he'd be a weird version of that where he's the hunted. But like
Yeah, he would be
But-
like, you need to hunt me.
but actually I'm really hunting you all along. Whoa.
Yes. Oh, thank you for that, Miranda. That was good. That was really good.
He's got his monologue all ready for the last person as he kills them.
I of course have a question. Teller's the one that gets into the Imperial uniform, right? And
Yes.
it's like,
Yes, correct.
okay.
He's,
he's
like,
like-
their leader.
It doesn't fit me because I'm starving. It's like, great. That's cool. Thank you for bringing down the mood, my
Yeah,
dude.
right.
You're doing so well. We
I
still
know,
have
they were like,
super cool
that doesn't
ship.
fit you like it used to. And he's like, that's what starving does to somebody. Fuck me. I was just trying to make a funny.
Like, I was just trying to compliment you on your exercise routine. God damn.
Anyway,
But
my
yeah,
point
so-
was I like his fake scar and his Mad Eye Moody Eye that he pops in for some reason.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway.
You gotta look cool if you're gonna steal ships.
I know.
It's what I always say. Look cool, don't look at explosions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like obviously the ship is doing damage because it's kind of a monster. But at the end of the day, it's one ship and it's eventually going to run out of ammunition. It already had to refuel and that was almost a disaster. Like it's not, they're not going to overthrow the Empire with one ship. So what is the goal? Like what do we think is driving them here?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think too, like in the grander scheme, I want to relate that to who are these people, because this I think, in the canon, and I'm sure Chris will correct me if I'm wrong, but like once the Empire really takes hold, this is the first kind of resistance that I can recall seeing. Even
Yeah, this is like pre-Death Star. It's very early in the Empire.
yeah, and like Tarkin's overseeing stuff where they're like getting some materials to start to build the Death Star, and we haven't seen the Empire deal with this before. So like, are they just trying to sow chaos? Is there a political goal other than the Empire is bad? It's something that I'm really hoping to get out of the rest of the book. And
I have a feeling we will.
yeah,
I have
that's
a
Yeah.
feeling whoever the fuck they're supposed to be meeting up with is going to tell us something.
Yeah, for sure. And you're definitely right. So it's excuse me. So it's 5 years after Order 66. And so it's before most of the kind of rebellion instances that we know. It's before A New Dawn. It's before Solo, even though that's not really about a rebellion. It's before, obviously Star Wars Rebels. So it is pretty early in the Empire. So in a way it kind of is like one of the first instances of like organized rebellion that isn't just like resistance to Imperial takeover, like in the first place, where like we saw on like, what was it, Raqqa in Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston. There's Rada, as thank you, Kate corrected me.
Okay.
And there's some stuff that happens on Mon Calamari, and Darth Vader comics and stuff like that. But yeah, this is one of the first like independent rebel movements, kind of, and it is. We are going to find out. I've read this a while ago, and we are going to find out what is driving them, but also like just philosophically looking at Teller and looking at what later worked and didn't work for the Alliance, and looking at what the Empire's actually afraid of them doing. Like, how do you fight an Empire? Because like even this early, before their power is as strong as it is, you know, by the time we get to A New Hope, they look pretty unbeatable.
Yeah. And the thing too is like, even when we get to A New Hope, like, there is no reasonable way that the rebels should have ever won. Like, they lucked the fuck out because one dude was an alright person.
Yeah.
It
Thanks,
is
Galen.
A New Hope. One singular New Hope.
His name is Galen Erso. He
And
died.
There's a whole movie about it if you don't know what we're talking about.
Great film.
Rouge one.
Red one.
Red one. But like, there's no reason that any kind of insurrection that's not related to a planet being, you know, taken over by the Empire should succeed. But this is particularly interesting, one, because I'm sure we'll, you know, I'm sure their goals are good or interesting, but also they're showing some of the Empire's weaknesses right now.
Yeah, nobody fucking talks to each other.
Nobody knows what to do. There's just like this fucking ship flying around. They stole like one of the best ships in the galaxy that like nobody low-key knew about.
I love it because it's very like actual office life. It's like no one's allowed to know what anybody else is really working on, and like everybody's being a little bitch about it.
Yeah.
Yup.
They're all pretending like their shit's more important than everyone else's, but it's like, no, so these guys stole this like super fast and cool and powerful and stealthy ship. They're now attacking our bases.
It's not great. They seem to know a lot about the ship because they were like, oh, we know the weakness is on the spine, so we're just going to show them the little belly. That's what happened. I read the book.
The little belly guy. Yep.
The little belly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
So
happened.
how do you fight an empire? I think there's some insider knowledge that's maybe necessary. So
You
if you
get
can
spies inside the Empire.
If you
That-
can
that's helpful.
exploit those weaknesses. So another question I have on here is sorry, I was reading at the same time. Who are Teller and crew?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, we don't really know yet. We will. We'll find out. But
Teller's Imperial. Like,
yeah, he definitely does seem.
he seems
Former
super
Imperial.
Imperial. That's
And
the
he's
whole
also
thing.
one of the two humans, which
Yeah.
I was
makes
gonna
it
say
more
they're
likely.
they're aliens, which is cool
Yeah, it's
and
like
non-imperial.
this guy who happens to have an Imperial uniform and like some artists from Coruscant are the two humans. And it's like, well, that's interesting. Well, this Imperial guy seems super knowledgeable about how the Empire works and all the ships function and what their plans might be and their strategies. It's like, that seems helpful if you're fighting a monolith.
Seems like he might be a defector. Big if
Yeah.
true.
I also enjoy that the Zygerian is named Hask, which is also the name of the asshole in Battlefront 2.
I
I
know.
got
I was
really
like,
confused for a second.
wait.
I was
Which,
like,
like, obviously they're
wait.
not related because one is Zygerian and one is very much not Zygerian. But
Yes.
it's just funny because sometimes Star Wars names are so Star Wars named that they out of nowhere get used twice.
Yep. Oh, I know. I fucking loved it. I know. I took a quiz on May the 4th about like Quinn's dad sent it to me because he's very cute. He sent it to me and not Quinn, and just directly to me and via email, which makes it just even more cute to me. But anyway, so I'll look up what it was. I think it may have been The Guardian or something. But I was like looking at a lot of the fake names because it was a multiple choice quiz, and I was like, a lot of these are like probably maybe names. Like, yeah, it was The Guardian.
Just because they haven't been used yet doesn't mean they're not on the short list.
I know. I was like, these are all pretty Star Warsy names, so like, Yeah, they're probably gonna be Star Wars names. It's just like they don't correspond with who you think they do. It's just very funny.
Especially now that you put those out into the world. Like,
I know. I was like,
some Star Wars writers can be reading The Guardian. Like, well, hey.
That's a great name. Yeah. Anyway, I'll send you the quiz. You guys are both probably gonna get. I got one wrong of like the 24. I think you'll probably get it all right. Probably. Anyway, this is exciting podcasting. No, this is podcasting. Cool.
Pod racing is space NASCAR.
It is. What drives this decision making, Miranda? You wrote that on here.
Yes, that is one of my philosophical questions
Cool.
that we've already kind of been discussing. Like,
Yeah. Okay, great.
Why are they doing this? Like, what? And it also ties in with the next philosophical question. Or the next one's more of a real question.
Are they
Did I have in the
rouge?
outline? Are they what?
Are they rouge? You wrote, are they doing this on behalf of any movement, or are they rogue? Are they rouge?
Oh, I see. You're making a joke about Rogue and Rouge. Yes.
Yes. It's only the third time we've done it this podcast.
I am smart.
SMRT. Okay, cool. Oh, descent in the Imperial ranks. We did talk about that a little bit too. He might be a defector, I said. Cool. It's really hard for me to like talk and then realize what we've covered. If everybody is wondering why I read the outlines on the podcast, it's because I like know that we're covering the outline, but then I have to read through the outline to make sure I didn't miss something as I ferry us along. I'm the wrong person to be ferrying us along, but nobody else does it. So here I am.
we can actually talk about this more, I think. I had some actual concrete thoughts about
Points on my book wars.
You hate to see it. So I do kind of want to talk about dissent within the Imperial ranks, and you know, this is going to be a conversation that I'm sure we're going to have on the next episode covering the end of the book. I'm sure we're going to have it on the wrap up. But
Yay.
I'm really interested in seeing like how you know, that dissent is shown like with folks who were with the Republic and then they just kind of like stayed on.
Yeah.
When the Empire took over, because like they got a job, it's fine, as opposed to like the new recruits. And you know, there's something I think that we can even see so far in this book where there's a difference between like being loyal to like some kind of galactic governance and being loyal to an ideology, right? So based on what we have so far, and I don't know how this will change because I have not read on. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the book. But Teller, if he's not this guy, at this point, I feel like he probably represents a lot of these folks where, like, they're bureaucrats. You know, you stay on institutional loyalty. Like, you're still working for the Senate, or you're still in, like, some galactic army or whatever. Like, sure, that's one way. It's just, like, continuing on. But then we see Tarkin. I don't remember the exact quote, but at some point in this section, he's like, yeah, the best way to, like, rule shit is through fear.
Whoops.
Which is...
that seems bad.
a little yikes, yeah.
A little. Yikes from my Tarkin.
But also, like, that probably wouldn't have been super cool in the Republic, but Emperor Palpatine's in charge, and he's like, I just want to fucking terrorize everybody and make everyone afraid of me, and I'm all powerful, so fuck you. And Tarkin's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I love how he says that, and he was like, did you guys know it was the Jedi the whole time? And you're like, wait,
It's just
what?
it's just me being that meme where the lady's trying to do the math.
Yes, totally. Absolutely. Oh, I love that meme. I love that meme. Is that meme on the meme generator?
I hope
It should be.
I don't think it is because there's no words.
I
It's just
know,
the
but
pictures of
it's
her
so true.
thinking with
It's
the
a
math.
good reaction gif. Anyway, the meme generator. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, do a Google. It just know that it will if you're
Don't
like
do it,
me,
Google.
it will just suck up 8 hours of your life probably. And
Very likely.
Miranda was just like, I don't understand what is this? And I was just like, Miranda, they're good memes. Let me live. Anyway, nothing matters.
But yeah, and I mean to talk about a little more about institutional loyalty versus belief. I mean, we do see this kind of coming into conflict, not just with Tarkin, but with other people. Like you look at somebody like Yularen, who was in the military and started in the Republic Navy and served like very closely alongside the Jedi, and now he is like essentially the head of ISB and is going to be there all the way up to the Death Star. And like you have that, like, I guess personal loyalty to Palpatine, but you know, he worked very closely with Anakin and Obi-Wan during the war, so he must have like had some sort of affection for them. And then on the other hand, you have like, you know, kind of the actual believers who are like kind of more sycophanty and like Sithy, who are the actual like non-military bureaucrats. He's not in this one, but like the Tashu type people from Aftermath. And so you get these people who are all ostensibly working within the same organization and toward the same goal, but who have very different motivations, and it leads to these tensions that we're seeing, and like the fact that like some people don't care about the process, only want what the Emperor wants, and some people are like, no, this is legitimately a bad idea and we shouldn't do it, and like they get overruled. And so it's just interesting to see that in the early stages.
It's like a
Overruled,
space version.
murdered. Who's to say?
Could be both. It's like a space version of like, you know, those people who are the like the sycophantic kind of people, like those are political appointees. And then the rest of the Navy is like, what the fuck are you doing? And someone up top is like, we need big fast ships so we can take more planets.
Look at my pins.
Someone at the top is like, we need a space force, and then everybody else has to make a space force.
They already have a space force. It's called the Imperial Navy. Chris.
Is that in space?
I think so.
Big if true.
Space
Is that
water.
where Space Wars is?
Space. This is called Space Wars, right? Did I
Yeah,
did I do
believe
it?
so.
Okay, cool.
Space skirmishes. But if I can finish up that actual point really quickly, I
Stop
think,
having points on the podcast. It's not
no,
allowed.
fuck you. I do what I want. Like I think it's really telling, and you can see big picture how this benefits the Rebel Alliance, right? Like, Bail Organa, always kind of an optimistic dude.
Rest in the most peace. What?
You know, he stays in the Senate, and like there's still a bit of that institutional loyalty. I mean, like obviously for personal reasons, where he's like, I can actually do something good if I stay here and use my powers to try to overthrow this Sith Lord.
Or at least try to prevent something bad, right?
Yeah.
At the end there, he was like, I maybe don't have
But
the power to do things like I'm talking like actually not under the table. I'm talking over the table stuff that he can do. It's like, oh, I can't actually do anything good, but I can prevent bad with my outward facing persona.
mm-hmm. And I think that over the course of Star Wars,
Never heard of it.
who is she? You can see like people like Bail, they may lose their faith in the ideology of their institutions, but they're like committed to using those institutions as a weapon for good.
Totally.
So that's
Yeah.
a point.
That was a point brought to you by Miranda.
No, for sure. And I mean, I think it does speak to how they end up recruiting Imperial people as well. Like, you look at someone like Galen Erso, like, who joined because he wanted to be the science guy and, like, was just really invested in his work, and then, like, came to the realization in Catalyst that, like, oh, I'm directly murdering people. Like, not even like tangentially. It is straight up me murdering people.
I hate it when that happens.
You know, you hate to see it when that accidentally happens. And that, like, led him to escape and eventually led him to fight against the Empire and help destroy the Death Star. And then you see, even if they didn't, quite, well, some other people who came over, Every Chalice from Twilight Company, she was like, I just cared, like, I was here because I was good at it. I didn't sign up for all this, like, fucking, like, sorcerer bullshit sticking me on a backwater and threatening to kill me. Like, I don't care about that. I'm not here ideologically. You look at someone like Ray Sloan, who is like, all of you are crazy. I am the only one holding this together. Like, you have kind of this increasing over the course of the 22, 23 years that the Empire exists, this increasing gap between the people who are competent and the people who are powerful.
Totally. This might be a stupid question, but I am on this podcast. In A New Hope, when Luke wants to go to the academy, he's talking about, like, going to, like, become a TIE fighting person, right? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
and, like, that's like part of exactly what we're saying, right? Like, it's not like he believes in the Empire. As soon as, like, somebody's like, about the rebellion, like, as soon as the droids talk, and he's like, about the rebellion against the Empire, he gets, like, fucking hard on for it, right?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
it's just interesting because he's just like, let me go do some. I just want to go fly things. Please get me out of here. I'm so tired.
Yeah, like, he's super into the thought of, like, rebelling against the Empire because the Empire's bad, capital B, and everybody knows that. But also, like, if you want to get off your fucking planet,
That's how you do
the
it.
way to do that is to go to the academy.
Totally. Okay. Sorry. I know that was a stupid question, but I was like, that is right? I didn't ever get confirmation from an actual Star Wars person about that. So here is me doing that.
It's a question worth asking.
Sure. Thank you. That's very
Clarity
kind
is-
of you.
Clarity is good.
That is why I'm on this podcast. Cool. Good points, Miranda.
Thank you.
Also, we haven't talked a ton, and I know we will more in the wrap up. But somebody wrote something about loyalty versus actual belief. Was that you, Miranda?
Yeah, that's what we just talked about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just making sure. This is what I'm. My sub point to that was, Dooku was trying to get Tarkin to join the Separatists the whole last time the Clone Wars were going on. And Tarkin was like, nah, I don't think so, though. And it's just interesting because it's like, are you guys surprised that Tarkin wasn't more, like, open to joining the Separatists? Or not really?
I'm not, because he's always kind of been very, like, there should be one power in the galaxy and it should rule over everything. Like, he's always been a totalitarian.
Well, totally,
Yeah.
but, like, he was also of the mind that the Republic was a little bitch and not doing anything. So I just found, like, it interesting that those things are kind of at odds, and he ended up being on the quote-winning side. But I was like, Tarkin knows that, like, the Republic is a little bitch and, like, the Senate doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
So it's
but
interesting that, like, he was like, no, eat a dick.
yeah, but counterpoint.
Please.
He has a hard-on for authoritarianism,
Yep.
and he's already tight, like, during the Clone Wars with Palpatine,
Yeah.
who is, at this point, And even like before he becomes the Supreme Chancellor, like well on his way to being the Supreme Chancellor, like they're having conversations about bringing down the Valorums.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. It's
and
just it's just such an interesting fucking a weird thing. It's such a Star Wars thing because it's like actually Dooku and Palpatine are on the same side, but Palpatine's on two sides, but it's complicated, okay?
Yeah, the joke's on everyone because Palpatine's gonna win no matter what.
Yes, it helps when you are on both sides that you win the war.
But like I think Tarkin was just close enough to him at that point that like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he had an actual like full idea of where this was gonna go, but like, you know, he's having chats with Palpatine, and Palpatine's like, "What if we rode people with fear?" And he's like, "I like that."
Yeah. I don't know. I just find it interesting that he's like going with the guy who's doing stuff behind. I mean, not that like the separatists weren't doing things like not above board, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But he's like, Palpatine seems to have like these people that he refers to we in this specific way, and I don't think that it's like necessarily a sanctioned thing. However, and I'm like, you would think that like, I mean, I don't know. For some reason I'm like Tarkin when he was younger, I thought like valued people as being like straight shooters, but I guess he's more like winner take all. I am on the side of like whoever is cunning and smart enough to fuck everyone over.
Yeah, I don't think Tarkin has ever joined a losing side.
Yeah. He's very like I do think he, you know, still likes straight shooters, or he at least respects them.
Yeah. I guess that's a better word for it. Thank you.
But I think, you know, if anything, we learned from this book, it's like because of his experience with his uncle on Iriadu and like at the Carrion or whatever, like he knows about like staying alive. Like he has seen actual survival of the fittest firsthand. And
Totally.
I mean I think that lends him well to being like, okay, well, you're smart and powerful. This seems like a good idea.
I will align with you, smart and powerful. Totally. Anyway, we will get back to that in the wrap up. Loyalty versus belief. Cool.
Okay.
How does the Empire respond to this small but mighty fight? How does an Empire fight back? I assume we're going to see more about this later in the book.
And I mean, I think that's so like a good response question to Chris's question, like, how do you fight an empire? It's like, well, I'm sure there are lots of ways, but like, how does the empire actually deal with it? Yeah. Questionably is my answer.
Yeah, it's very clear this is the first time, like as Kristen was saying, it's very clear this is the first time they've ever had to deal with something that's even remotely a threat. Mm-hmm. Because they, like, and part of it's that, like, the Emperor kind of realizes that it's not actually a threat and just wants to see how it plays out. But, like,
oh my God, it's so funny.
The other people in charge are kind of just running around with, like, chickens with their heads cut off.
Yeah. Did I say that or did Miranda say that? I thought you said that, Miranda. That point, it's like the first.
I did.
Yeah, okay, you did.
My
Okay,
bad.
great. No, you're fine.
I mean, you might have also touched on it.
I'm sure I touched on it, but I think the original point was yours, so I'm just making sure that people know that I didn't have a good original idea.
You could have just let that slide.
No.
People think you're so smart.
No. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I think all of that is true. Could we say that they overreact? Is that a good is that a good classification of what they fucking do?
I mean, the Empire has never reacted once in their entire lives.
In an appropriate way.
Yeah, they don't really do proportional response.
Yes.
No, they're like, fuck it, let's go all out. Blow it up. Couple rebels, let's blow up this fucking planet. But, like, you can super tell that this is the first time this has happened because they're like, okay, well, there's one ship on the loose.
On the
kind of
loose.
dangerous. It's a wild ship.
BB-8 is driving the ship. It's on the loose.
Stole the freighter.
Droid.
And so they're just like, okay, well, like, hey, we'll deal with it. We'll use the Navy. What if we divert half the fucking Navy in this sector to chase down this one ship?
But did you consider that Darth Vader's angry? That they jettisoned
But
his
like,
ball?
that wasn't even. I mean, some of it wasn't even that. It's just like,
I know.
so what other sectors are nearby? What systems? And they're like, oh, this, and this. It's like, yep, send them
Okay,
all. Just
all of it.
pull the Navy out.
Sounds
let's,
fine.
Let's go catch these guys. And it's like, that is a terrible use of resources. Where is Thrawn?
Yeah, I know, right?
Where's sweet baby Eli?
Where is my wife, Eli Vantos? He
Uh,
will fix this for you.
Yeah, Vader's still mad they took his ball though.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god, him fucking yelling at the poor fucking stormtroopers trying to get the ball on the ship is so funny. Like, don't do it again. I'm like, he's like, there's a fucking wind, all right, Vader. Fucking take a chill pill.
Have you considered that Anakin is a dramatic bitch?
Oh my fucking I know this is a point that we return to over and over again on this podcast, that everybody acts like Vader is like this like be all end all crush with the mighty fist, which he is, sure, but he's also such a fucking dramatic ass goddamn little bitch.
Oh yeah.
So much.
And I mean, I almost think like it's good for the Empire that they're reacting so terribly. I mean, like, obviously, but also we can like read this and then see how it might inform their decision making later. Like,
Sure.
still not great at it.
They get better
and-
at it though.
And yeah, they're like, oh, well, like, here's a small thing. Like, you know, we'll get a few people together and, like, track them down. Like, the whole point of Rebels is, like, I haven't actually seen the whole series. Don't judge me.
Judge
But,
her,
like-
send her hate tweets, because otherwise Kate's gonna hear that she said don't judge me, and then Kate is gonna send you hate tweets if you don't hate tweet at her. So
True. All true.
just
Meanwhile, Kate will be hate tweeting me on the side.
saying. She does that constantly.
It's true.
We deserve
But,
it,
like,
just as a reminder to all of us.
but, like, you have Thrawn, and, like, he's like, okay, gotta destroy these rebels, right?
In a contained and appropriate way, as
Yeah.
opposed to a not contained and not appropriate way.
And, like, you know, they know that, like, Ezra is a Force user, and they're like, okay, we can send an Inquisitor.
Yay.
It's not like, oh man, some weird stuff's happening on the Thal. Do we have an entire navy in a nearby sector?
That we can completely divert and then just blow up that whole planet.
Yeah.
What?
Let's yeet it at the space cats.
Oh, Lothal.
It's a learning experience
What a
for them.
It's time for me to rewatch Rebels, but I have to watch all the rest of the Clone Wars first. Anyway, this has been brought to you by Star Wars cartoons and how they're better than everything else in this stupid series.
Kristen, did you finish watching Clone Wars yet?
No, I have not.
Did
I
you
know.
start watching Clone Wars yet?
No, I have not.
Don't do it. It's rude.
I know it's rude.
It's so good.
It's
You
fine.
should
I'm probably
watch
gonna
it.
do it
It's-
all like in one sitting this weekend. So I'm just.
Yeah.
That's.
And you
Almost
thought your
watched-
depression was bad now.
I fucking know. Well, I have my Star Wars cave now.
That's true. That's true.
I did break a screw putting the TV on the wall. However, it's fine with two. I tell
Yeah.
myself.
I mean,
Um,
it's also Clone Wars, so like it's really easy to just sit there and.
That is my.
watch
I'm like, there's
a
no.
fuck ton of episodes.
There is no world in which I don't sit down and watch the entire thing like in one sitting. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have watched like the first 10 episodes in one sitting, except I got distracted by the internet and watched like an hour-long video about something else.
Sure.
On you-
what,
YouTube?
what was it about, Miranda?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Was it something Russian?
Oh no, I thought you were joking. It was like a weird Harry Potter drama thing.
Oh no,
from,
I really wanted to
2003.
know what it was.
Oh no, from maybe 01 to 03 or so. Very interesting. Would recommend. But like, I got distracted by it, and then it was time to go to bed, so I didn't watch the last 2 episodes.
We were talking about wastewater in Israel before we started recording. So if you're wondering the kind of K-holes Miranda goes down, they're varied, they are deep, and they are wide.
That was one paragraph in an article.
I know, but that
It's very interesting.
it's not an article I would have been able to stumble upon. They don't have that in the barely can read section of the internet. Anyway. Cool.
I think we could probably hold off on this last one until next episode.
On Poopy's ultimate goal.
Yes, indeed.
Doo-doo and Poopy, my faves.
It's Mr. Poopy to you.
I know.
Emperor
Well,
Poopy.
Emperor
Excuse you.
Poopy. God, I have all my minis. I know I've like posted photos of this, but I have all my mini Funkos on my desk, and then I have like big giant Thrawn in the middle, and like I have tiny Poopy next to tiny Maul, and then tiny
Nice.
Chewie, tiny Luke, and tiny Lando, and like tiny Jabba. And just
one Thrawn to
big
rule
giant
them all.
Thrawn in the middle. And
Love
I'm
it.
just looking at like Palpatine, and I'm like, haha, we're calling you Poopy, even though you've got tiny lightning coming out of your tiny fingers.
Amazing.
Anyway, we've been in quarantine for too long, and we're all losing our minds.
Yep.
Cool. You
But
want
on
to take
that
us
note-
out? You want to take us out, Chris?
On that note, continue your quarantine by joining us next episode for Book Wars Pod as we finish up Tarkin reading chapters 16 through to the end. In the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Book Wars Pod. Email us, bookwarspod@gmail.com. And rate, review, and subscribe to both us and the Tashi Station Radio Mega Feed. It is the best way for people to discover the show and find more reasons to hate themselves during this already hateful time.
And us. You should also hate us.
Well, yes, hate themselves
Subscribe,
for watching
but-
us. The hate us is a given, really. But
the
yeah,
theme.
subscribe. That's the important part. Download and subscribe is the important part. If you have the means, please donate to the Tasha Station Radio Patreon and give us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. It really helps us cover our hosting and production costs.
I'll
and
use
we'll
it to buy a
post
new
pictures.
dongle if
Yeah.
anybody has money.
And it's the best way for you to see pictures of Porkchop, Orca, and Jasper, the best parts of the pod. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joby Terra Design. For Kristen and Miranda, I am Chris. Thank you so much for listening to episode 115 of the Book Wars Pod. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Ba-ba-da, 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 ba.